just watching a bee pollinating our blackcurrant flowers. It's doing a good job. It's quite a big bee. So, yep, another day on the allotment. Obviously bees started work before me. There we go. I should imagine once it's finished on the blackcurrant, it'll have a go at these as well. It's nice to see some blossom. It's lovely and sunny today as well. So today's jobs are sort this lot out, and these are raspberries, well they should be, and strawberries. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get in there with a fork and dig it all up and then replant. I've just seen as well some more lemon balm to move. I can hear another bee as well. Ah, look. There it is. So yeah, so I'll get in here and deal with all this today. And I've got some seeds to sow as well, nothing special. I've got some moolies, which are like a type of long radish, and some other mixed radishes. The leeks that I moved last time, they seem to be fine. Some of the raspberry canes that are over there will get put along the fence there, along where the grapevine grows. What else is going on? The other leeks I put there, they're fine. Got weeding to do as usual. The rhubarb, which is all the way along here, has come along really well. Obviously enjoying the weather. So we've got quite a crop of rhubarb going, but what I'll have to do is make sure none of it is starting to flower. What have we got in here? Look. There. Some good stems coming there. None of this is forced. We tend not to force rhubarb because we end up with so much of it anyway, but there's different varieties in there, although what they are I'm not sure. Broad beans coming up. So obviously I'm going to have to weed out the creeping buttercup and the ground elder up there. Not a huge amount of activity from the shallots, although some of them have started. Probably the ones that are in the sun more. Obviously the onions are starting to look like they're going to do something, and they've survived being pulled up by the birds, although a few of them look like they might be out of place, so I'll probably have to replant them. The spuds, can't really see much coming up here. There are a few signs though. So, just there. There's one poking its head through. Another one there. So I'll start earthing these up, which will help control some of the weeds. So yeah, what else is going on? Well, that apple tree, the blossom's not quite out yet, but it won't be long before they start to burst. They have really nice flowers on them as well. So, and I'll get and move the skirret as well. Fingers crossed. Because I forgot, well, I ran out of time last time I was down here, so. And this patch of what looks like weeds is our little experiment with parsnips. As you can see, there's quite a lot coming up in here, parsnip wise. I can see quite a few good plants. Once they get bigger, we can take out all the dead nettle and any of the other weeds. Obviously the weed control fabric's still down, and that's waiting for other plants, like squashes mainly. So let's have a look at the other ones. So this is another bed where we just scattered a seed head of a parsnip plant, but yeah, there's some coming up there. That's good. Some other things which we probably don't want in here, so we'll start moving, getting rid of some of the weeds. Right, so best get my fork out and start sorting out the strawberries and what have you. Right, just having a bit of a breather. So you can see the bed now is cleared, and I've gone all the way up to there. That's a red gooseberry. There's actually some bees flitting about on it at the moment, which is good. Means they're pollinating the flowers. So yeah, there's the bed. So black currant bush that end, gooseberry there. So all this was strawberries and raspberries. Now all I've got to do is plant that lot, which are all the strawberry plants that I dug out of there. So there's going to be quite a few of them. It's probably going to take me a little while, perhaps longer than I had intended, but I'll get it done. Then I've got a little pile of raspberry canes there, which I'll put along that frame there, and then I'll see how I get on. But for now, strawberry plants, and like I said, I've found quite a lot of them. You know, good plants. So, and as it's quite warm, I best get them in the ground pretty quick. So, right, try and see if I can squeeze all that lot in here. Right, best crack on. So I've started planting some of the strawberries. I'm trying to make sure they've got a good amount of space around them. Probably a good 6 inches or so between the plants. Planting strawberries is fairly easy. I mean, one of the other reasons for leaving the space is when they start putting out runners, it should enable me, fingers crossed, to then put the runners in the gaps, and hopefully that means we can keep the crop of plants growing. We've never actually bought any strawberry plants. The first lot we had, when we first took on an allotment plot, we actually got 3, and we'd had them in the garden for a while, but they kind of outgrew the garden, plus we wanted to do some different things with the garden anyway, so they all got put down the allotment. So most of these plants are descendants of the ones we got. Anyway, so to plant them, I'm going to go into the ground with a trowel, and while I'm at it, if I find any roots like these bits, that's probably root of ground elder, I can pull them out as well. You're never going to get it all, but the more you do get out, the better. And it's kind of self-explanatory, really. There's a strawberry plant. This is the root, and that's obviously the bit that's going to grow, produce flowers, and give you strawberries. And basically, it's a case of popping it in the hole. Well, I'm trying to get this done fairly quick because it's quite warm today. And there we go. You can tidy them up if you've got any bits like this. For these are where the old runners had come on. Tidy them up with a pair of secateurs. But that's it, really. So just move that one across a bit. Try and come down about 6 inches from the other plant, which is just there. Dig a hole. Get your plants, pop them in, and then cover them back up with soil. And that's it. Another robin. Always here. This one's been following me about all day. Anyway, better get this done because I've got other jobs to do today. So, and that's it basically. So give them a good amount of space, plus then it's easier to weed in amongst them. I don't know how many I'm going to get in this bed. I'll probably fill up most of the bed, to be honest with you, with these plants. So I'm going to kind of cram them in where I can. Right, enough chatting, let's get on with it. Okay, so there's some strawberries in. It's quite an extensive bed. I've just noticed a butterfly down there sunning itself. Anyway, yeah, so it's nice and clear now, and there's quite a lot of plants in there. Some of them are quite small because they're probably runners from last year's stuff, so they won't do much this year, but they'll get bigger. This little patch of earth here, you can see I've made these little seed drills. I'm just going to put something quick in here. So radishes basically. The first 2 rows I've put in moolies, which are like a long type of radish. The seeds we saved from some we grew a while ago. And then I'm just going to put some mixed radishes in here and there. And I'll leave the carrots for another day. But it looks like I've made quite a deep drill, but that's just where I've pulled the earth up. So once this is raked over, the drill's only going to be maybe, I don't know, no more than about 2 inches deep. Doesn't need to be much deeper than that. And they're a quick crop, so we can harvest them and then use this patch of ground for something else. But it's fairly simple to do. If you've ever planted a radish, it's not that hard. Again, the seeds we've got here, nothing special. These are all just saved seeds. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pinch and I'm just going to go along like that. And we can thin them out as we go. Some people will do it 1 seed, so many inches, but it's a lot of extra work because you can thin them out as they go. And as you thin them out, the ones that are left in will get slightly larger. And if you want, you can leave them to go to seed and eat the seed pods, which are actually quite nice. So, alright, that's those in. What else have I done? I've earthed up my potatoes again. Probably won't get around to moving the skirret yet again. I'm beginning to think it's best left where it is for this year, and I'll think about it for next year because it has started to grow. I put some raspberries along here, so we should get nice raspberry canes which we can tie into this frame, and the ones that I had left over I put up at the back of the plot. Got the hose out because I'm now going to have to water everything. And that's about it really. We have started planting stuff in the greenhouse at home. So my wife has started things like tomatoes and stuff like that, which we grow at home anyway. But the squash plants and that will be next, and they'll all come down here and they'll go under the weed control, and we'll probably have more space than we actually need under the weed control, so we'll plant some other stuff. Did have a quick weed around the Dwarf Beans, and this piece of weed control fabric here, we've got a plan for this, so it's quite long. So what we'll have is, once they're ready, and again this is something else that my wife has planted, is we'll have some bean frames come up maybe to where that basket is, and that'll be for ballotti beans, which are great for saving. So we let them go to seed, as it were, and then we save the seed, the beans themselves, and they make great hummus and stuff like that. And this part here, we'll put dwarf beans in, which again have been planted up in the greenhouse at home. So yeah, I'm just going to give everything a bit of a water, and then that's me done for the day. It's taken me a lot longer than I had anticipated to get this sort of fruit border or bed sorted out, but I think the results are worth it. It's now much more organised and easier to keep, providing we keep on top of it and we weed it regularly. And we've now got probably 3 times the amount of strawberries that we actually realised we had, which is good. And we've got a lot more black currants than we realised we had, which is also good. And I have noticed as well that this red gooseberry has touched the ground in places. You can see where it's put out roots, so I'm going to pin those back down, and then we'll have new gooseberry plants as well. More lemon balm in there as well. Stuff grows like a weed, but it's quite nice. So yeah, again, productive day. Pleased with what I've got done, and I guess it'll be on to the next day. Still got to sort that out. I'll have to go through it and see if there is any asparagus left. If there's not, this might be a good bed to put the skirret in, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And I have noticed you can just about make them out there. That's a bud, new bud. So the grapevine, even though I cut it later than really was good for the plant, it seems to be, touch wood, okay, because I can see new buds coming in several places, so that's good. Okay, so there we go. Just get the watering done, and that'll be me done for the day. Anyway, thanks for watching.